such a real wonderful and exciting thing to me. If y'all could, like I said, move on forward. And if anybody knows where Vicki is, no, that's okay. Somebody whack towards the back. Have you ever heard that term? Linda Nichols, where are you? Think that'll help her to get in here? But it's just so neat to look around the room and see so many people that have meant so much to us over the years. Just really, really cool. Wow. Y'all come on up back in the back tables and stuff. I promise you're really, really going to hope that you get as close as possible. It's just that kind of a thing. The entertainment tonight is going to be unlike anything that you may have ever had the opportunity to be around or to see. And so you'll want to get as close to the stage as possible, because it's going to be a very, very neat, very intimate concert with a very special person. In fact, I want to make a very bold statement here. The gentleman that has come to entertain us tonight, in my opinion, just telling you what I think, is possibly the best entertainer I've ever heard in my life. And when I say that, there's a lot of you that know that that's coming from somebody that knows a lot about entertainment. Vicki and I, of course, right out of college, traveled all over the country, mainly the Midwest, playing and performing in clubs, all over the place. And something that happened, back years and years ago, to me, was that I got tired. I just got to tell you what happened, is that I was really very, very connected in Nashville. My publisher was Henry Hurt. Almost nobody knows this story, by the way. Henry Hurt, who was the country music publisher of the year that year. So very, very well connected. But something happened that I just got tired of seeing people at their worst. In these clubs, you just get tired of seeing people at their worst. I don't know really how else to say that. And so what I did was I looked at Vicki and I said, Vicki, is Joab in here? They still back out of there somewhere? So I looked at Vicki and I said, Vicki, I said, I just want to get off the road. I just don't like this life. I want to change. I want to do something different. I want to do something that is going to make a difference. And we came home and started a Christian recording studio. And I told her, I said, I really think that we need to start a family. And it was like one day I told her, I think we need to start a family. And the next day she said, I'm pregnant. And then came along this most amazing little boy. We called Joab our little brown boy, because he absolutely positively was our little brown boy. How many of y'all remember from the Joab from? You remember him? Do you remember him also? Russ, come on down here. We get up here close on the front row with us. This is my brother-in-law Russell. Get on down here. But anyway, so he was like our little brown boy. We would be standing in line, and people would say, "Oh, Mama, look at this little brown boy." Literally, that's what they'd say. Come on up here. And so, it was just so neat, because we came off the road, started a family, and immediately, it was like I said, Vicki, we need to do this. The next day, she, told me that she was pregnant. So I'm so glad that God got a hold of us and got us off the road, brought us back, and started making some meaning out of our life. Vicki, come on up. So I just really want to tell y'all more than anything. Are you gonna sit down? We're kind of at the same level this way. Oh, she has on a short dress. She doesn't want to sit. So, announcements. But I just had some general notes here that I wanted to just, in general, just thank y'all, because there's just somebody here from every aspect, just about, of our lives. You know, all the musical groups that we were with, all the things that are there, family, friends, and I just wanted to kind of make a few notes of that. First of all, our musical friends that are here. There were people that we invited that now are all over the place. We had bands from junior high school. I had my little rock band from junior high school, and some of you, where's the Paladuro guys? There's one over here and over here and over here. How'd y'all get scattered out? Y'all at the same table. You got me confused now. But anyway, these are guys that I went to high school with, and 3 of them are drummers from the drum section. Matt, we were in choir together, different musical people that we had, that we were, like I said, in kind of cahoots with, ran around together, and just had a great time. And all the way through junior high, all the way through high school, just a lot of stuff. Oh, kids, are you talking about Joab and Jesse and Melissa and Kelsey? Okay, kids, come on down.
Do y'all like you used to do, dragging you to church? You're going to sit on the front row so you pay attention.
I would like for y'all to acknowledge, well, where's Melissa's not with them? Where's she go? There she is. Run, Melissa, run! Here she comes. Okay, the one with the glasses on his head, and the next 3 behind him, y'all wave at everybody. This is our son, Jesse, and Kelsey, and Joab, and Melissa. Can y'all go? Yeah, Jesse was with ZZ Top till just recently. And you guys come on, Papa, y'all come on over here. We got all these vacant seats right up front. Oh, come on over. Y'all squeeze a little bit. Come on, Papa. You know. And this is my father, Joe Perdue, and my stepmom, June. And y'all wave at everybody. It was so cool. My dad would be my best friend if he wasn't my father. And when we came off the road, you know, we're talking about that. He said, Jay, he said, if you feel like you just have to go all over the world playing music, he said, then go ahead. You know, he was very supportive. But he said, when it starts looking normal to you, get off the road. And I guess it started looking normal. But anyway, you know, just want to thank all of you from the musical background for being here. You butt in anytime you want.
Now you did it. I thought I'd give a real quick kind of a synopsis, because some of you I haven't seen in forever, literally. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about our life, so you'll know, if some of you that have not been in it much recently. Of course, Jay and I got married in 1976. We immediately started building a house, which was the stupidest thing you could ever do. But anyway, we built a house. We graduated from West Texas State University, music majors. We went on the road, and we were professional entertainers for 15 years. Then we had a baby, so came off the road. We were on the road for a couple of years, but anyway, built another house and started a recording studio. Built that for a while. Then we got into our present company, which is acoustics, which is these things on the wall. Those are called acoustic panels. That's what we've done for the last 26 years. And it's been crazy. But on I want to point out a company. I mean, we love you guys, and we're so honored and humbled that y'all are here. We love all of you, and you've been such a big part of our lives in so many areas. And I wanted to acknowledge a couple of people here. One of my very first friends, when I was literally 5 years old, which lived around the corner from me, is Holly Hughes Johnson. And she's right over here, this beautiful lady in the red. I cried when I saw her. I hadn't seen her. She was in our wedding, and I think I've seen her since, maybe once or twice. So, you know, we live a wild life. We're road traveling all the time. And then one of my next earliest friends, I saw her, Debbie Wilson Martindale back there, and she was my roommate in college. We went to first grade together, and thank you, honey. I need those. But it's so awesome. I mean, you know, I think one thing I wanted to tell you guys, no matter what your ages are, that the most important thing in life is people. Your family and your friends. And, you know, I mean, we all get caught up in work and jobs and climbing the corporate ladder or whatever you do, but just remember these are what's most important. Time with them is priceless. And, I mean, it's just like I said, we're so blessed. And where's Joni? I have an amazing story right here, this girl. I'll try to be quick. But it goes way back, way back. My mother and her mother were the same age, had the same name, except for last name. And my grandmother, during the World War II, her dad was stationed here in Amarillo, and he came here with his new bride. And my parents had just gotten married and moved to Houston, I think. And her mother went to work at a grocery store here where my grandmother worked. And my grandmother, because here's this lady, the same name as her daughter, looked like her daughter, was the same size, same age. It was just remarkable. She took her in under her wing, and that they're like our extended family that lived in Indiana that we never knew because they moved back, of course, after the war was over and everything. But we've kept track of their family all these years. Precious, precious people. When Jay and I were on the road, they took us in, they let us stay at their home, and Joni was in high school. And I told her earlier, I said, I hope I didn't do anything to offend you, because it may come out today, you know. But just precious, and when she told me they were coming, I was just so shocked, and thank y'all so much. They drove up from Dallas, and it was just so precious to have you guys here, because y'all are our extended family.
Thank y'all so much. You know, like I said, so many people have helped us in our life, through our life, and wouldn't be right if I didn't mention Charles and Mary Cook. This precious couple were our Sunday school teachers in Border, Texas. He was the president of the bank, and when nobody would believe in me, Charles Cook did. And he was our financial beginning. And just amazing, you know, what God has done with us and through us, and the different things that we've been able to do and accomplish. And really, a lot of people have been blessed through us in so many ways. We know that because we see the fruit of it. And I'm just so appreciative to so many people. You know, they ask me all the time, you know, people will say, you know, what, you know, I just have to tell you, I am not smarter than anybody. You can tell I'm not better looking than anybody. Yeah, says my high school buddy with a full head of hair. But, you know, the one thing that I think that if I have any quality that qualifies me in any way, and Vicki too, is that we're just very thankful. You know, we're very thankful. We're very thankful to people that we've known that have helped us along the way. It's just been amazing. It's just absolutely, positively been amazing. And I just want to thank y'all. I made a few notes just to make sure I didn't forget anything. I got to talk about Pastor Spike and Celia. Did y'all notice the neighborhood that you're in? Spike, this is our pastor, Spike, and so you guys just stand up and wave with the people. And they, Spike said he knew that he was in the right neighborhood. I love supporting these people, and they're you know, really great friends of ours. And I love supporting them here because he said he knew he was in the right place when they came here to get the building back up in shape and had to patch a couple of bullet holes in the metal doors on the side of the building. And so, you know, and that's honestly, we weren't trying to be fancy. We were trying to save your life by getting a limousine to get you across the street. You know, it was like a necessity, you know what I mean? I was looking out the door a while ago and saw an RV, RV, not RV, what do you call it, SUV, go about 60 miles an hour down the highway, the very one you're supposed to walk across from that parking lot there. On Sunday morning, they're all still asleep, you know? I don't know if you caught that or not, but on a Saturday night, it can be kind of dangerous out there. But so many thanks to them. They really, have you ever heard the old term, made a silk purse out of a sow's ear? They've taken this property and made a silk purse out of a sow's ear, but more importantly, they've made a silk purse out of the sow's ear of a lot of people's hearts. And just good, amazing people. You know, that kind of reminds me of one thing I wanted to say. If Vicki and I think have another redeeming quality, it would be this, is that this is kind of crazy, but I don't think that there is a handful of people, not less than 5 people on this planet that would not be welcome to this concert tonight. We just don't have any enemies. We just don't have anybody that we don't love. All employees and ex-employees, well, not all, right? Anyway, okay, there's 2. But anyway, are welcome to be here. You know, we love people and just have kept good relationships with family, friends, everybody. It's just really, really cool. I thank my family. Everybody's put up with me. You know, I mean, I'm just not easy to put up with a lot of times. And I know that y'all find that hard to believe, but I am. And I just really do appreciate it. And more Vicki than anybody. I have to do this because yeah, I have to go home with her. But what I was thinking is I have to do this because I have this little thing rigged up. And another way that God has just been so good to us is that I really, really honestly thought that my time of inventions and patents and all that kind of stuff were over. I'm filing 3 new patents this year. It's amazing. And this one, I just wish so bad I could tell you about it because I think that the future, I'm just telling my little family friends here, that the future of acoustics is variable acoustics, where you can have a room that is right for soft, sweet music and then change it where it's right for, you know, a rock concert, something really hard. And I really wish that I could describe this thing that I've lately come out with, because it starts at this hard half round that would just like stop echo, you know, in a room joy, and then he knows all about this stuff. And then it would, you know, open up to diffusion and then absorption, so that a room can totally change just in a few seconds. And I wish so bad I could show you how this works. You know, I wish there was some way that I could think of to show y'all what this does and how it does, how it works, to change a room from a reflective to an absorptive room. And but you know, it's really cool. You know, we just keep going to different levels, and I thought, man, we'll just stick that thing behind Rivers, behind our guest tonight, and see what happens. You know. So anyway, you can tell we're a little bit stalling. I just want to make sure that he's around. I want to. He should be back there by now, and I don't know that he is. I don't see anybody waving at me, but I think he might be. I want to tell you a little bit of something about just, but just people in general. I have been amazed. There's one thing in all of Nashville, Tennessee that we have enjoyed more than anything else. One thing that we've enjoyed more than anything else is called writers' rounds, because these are the guys that make the music. They're, you know, to be honest, stars come and go, but writers are here and their songs are here forever. You know, Dolly Parton is not here tonight, but Dolly Parton really loves this guy and appreciates his talent. Help me out. Tim McGraw, Brad Paisley, and Tim McGraw, they're not here tonight, but they really love this guy and love his talent. Ladies and gentlemen, would y'all help me welcome to the stage a man that writes, and he is honestly, to me, the best entertainer. You know, a lot of people can entertain when they've got laser lights and stuff going off and all kinds of things happening, you know. But somebody that can take a guitar and a song and just tear it up and have your heart in their hand in a moment's time, oh my gosh, that, ladies and gentlemen, is amazing entertainment. And this man, the first time I ever met him, he was playing a concert at the Ford Theater in the round at the Country Music Hall of Fame. And when it was over, he's not out the side door. He's out there saying hello to folks out in the corridor, and he maybe doesn't remember it, but we sat and visited for 15 and 20 minutes. And he was just so nice and so sweet and so kind. And we just had a great visit. And I just thought, wow, you know, after several albums that I've recorded and things that we've done, I honestly don't even listen to the radio anymore. I just kind of got sick of the whole thing. And he made me love music. Really did. Ladies and gentlemen,
Rivers Rutherford.
Hello, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm rolling in on 2 wheels here. And I'm really excited to be here, but I was telling Jay and Vicky, I laid down just for a second in the hotel room, and the next thing I knew, it was 7:30. The driver was waiting out front for me. I'm so sorry, but give me just 1 second. Okay, I'll be ready. So, as Jay told you, my name is Rutherford Rutherford, and I know some of you have no clue who I am. But so, just so you know, I'm a real important, big-time, world-famous songwriter. And I'm just kidding. I know what a great honor it is for y'all to have me here. And know that I understand that. I'm just playing. Oh, there it is. There it is. There we go. How many of y'all listen to country music? Oh, okay. So a bunch of. And be honest, how many of y'all can give a rip about country music? There's at least one over here. There's another, a couple more. It's going to be a long night for y'all, I'll just tell you right now. Now, what I do, I'm really, as a singer, even as a songwriter, I don't even think what I do is necessarily country. I just kind of write songs about life and the way I live it, you know. And sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's not so good. But I write about it all. Now, it's been a long time since I've done a show in church. I usually, I mean, I'm just being honest, you know. I love the Lord and everything, and He loves me, but some of His fans aren't real crazy about me. But I do this from time to time, and on occasion I'll go on a mission trip or something, and I'll get to do some shows. We sent our oldest child, Maggie, who's going into her senior year in college, to Rwanda, Africa on Monday. Yeah. I mean, it's awesome and all, but, you know, as a dad, it's hard to remember sometimes. If they're really not yours, you just kind of, you just taking care of them until they get out of the house, you know. But I want to tell you that. Can I get just a little more monitor and a sketch more guitar? You know? I want to tell you that so that when I start singing these songs, you'll know that I'm not just standing up here giving lip service to it. I really do love the Lord. I sent my daughter to Africa, and I went along with it. I didn't like it a bit. I'm still not real happy with the Lord about it. But she belongs to Him and not me. But when you hear these songs, you'll know I'm not just making that up. I was sitting on a curb in front of LaGuardia Airport, New York City. Anybody here from New York? Oh, good. Let's talk about it. Are you from New York now? I love New York. I do shows up there and I do business there. Probably 2 or 3 times a year. I go up there. Some years it's more than that. Some years. Anytime I'm going to do a show, my wife always insists that she gets to go too, and I can always write that down as a trip that I made absolutely no money on. that trip will usually cost me a little bit of something anyway. On this particular trip, I was by myself and I was sitting on the curb because my flight had been canceled. And if you've ever been to LaGuardia, you know they're really efficient people. I mean, they get you in and out of there, and the planes. But it's a safe place to fly. I just tell you. But it's not a fun place to be. LaGuardia kind of sucks, if we're going to be honest. And I was sitting on the curb because my flight had been seriously delayed by like 8 hours. And it was a beautiful day. I had my guitar. My bag was under the plane. And once you give them your suitcase, it's already a kind of a coin toss as to whether you're ever going to see that thing again. But when they cancel your flight, you really start getting nervous. So I had my guitar, go out, sit on the curb, I started playing, started writing this song. And I discovered in pretty quick order that the cops in New York City, they don't really care for songwriters any more than the cops in Amarillo, Texas do. Or Nashville, Tennessee. And I was summarily ordered back to inside the airport and to my gate, which I did, very peacefully. And when I sat there for a few hours, I realized I had an issue. I called my wife. I said, baby, we've got a problem. She said, what's your problem? And I said, well, my problem is that by the time I get back to Nashville, I really won't have time to come home. I'll have to just kind of head on to my next airplane and go to the next town, you know. And it takes somebody very supportive, very loving, understanding, selfless, to be married to somebody in the music business, traveling the way we do, the hours we keep. And in typical supportive, loving wife fashion, she kind of hesitated and she said, that's all right, we'll see you Tuesday. I said, well, I mean, look, now that's my problem. You've got a problem too. And she said, well, what's my problem? I said, well, I need you to meet me at the airport with a suitcase full of clean clothes and take this suitcase full of dirty ones. I said, y'all are a lot kinder than she was. She didn't think that was funny at all. I'm telling you. It was a long, icy, uncomfortable silence, you know. And finally she said, well, one time, big boy. One time. I hope it's worth it. I said, well, I need it. This is the time. And God love her. She met me. We traded suitcases. I went on to my next town. When I got back to Nashville, I sat down with a friend of mine named David Lee Murphy. Have y'all ever heard of David Lee Murphy? And he sings, there might be a little dust on the bottom of that. Don't let it fool you about what's inside. I didn't write that one. I'm not going to play it for you. I like it too, but you know. But I'd always wanted to write a song with him, and we worked all day on a song. And when we got finished, he said, well, what you think, man? And I said, David, all I want to do is write a song. I can't tell you how long I want to do this. He says, oh, man, thanks. I said, well, I don't want this to be. And he started laughing. I started telling him the story about being on the curb and being escorted back into the terminal. Talking to my wife, and one time, he started laughing and said, man, it sounds like you've been living your life like I've been living mine. I said, how's that? He says, too fast. I said, yes. As a matter of fact, that's kind of what I was writing about on the curb out there in LaGuardia. So we've scratched this song out real quick. Well, by the time we got finished with it, I was late to a meeting with a guy named Kenny Chesney in Nashville. I walked into his office there, you know, on Music Row, and he looked at me and he says, Rev, dude, I mean, you know, hey. I said, well, Kenny, I'm a songwriter. I work for a living. What do you do? And again, y'all thought that was a lot funnier than he did, you know. But he listened to my song, and thankfully he recorded it. Now here's the deal. Kenny thinks to this day that I wrote this song specifically for him. I just go on letting him think that. Because Kenny sells a lot more records than I do. And I've got 4 children. I never one time thought about Kenny Chesney the whole time I was writing this song. I was saying about one time, big boy. The body's a temple, that's what we're told. But I treated this one like an old honky-tonk. Greasy cheeseburgers and cheap cigarettes. They tell me they'll get me if they ain't got me getting there. That fast forward, a hillbilly rock star out of control. Living that fast forward, yeah, I need to rewind real slow. My friends are grew up and they settled down, built nice little houses on the outskirts of town. They work in their offices, they drive SUVs, they pray for their babies and they worry about me. Cause I'm living that fast forward, a hillbilly rock star out of control. Living that fast forward, yeah, I need to rewind real slow. I'm always running, son of a gun, and I felt good. Did y'all hear what just happened? Did y'all catch that? I'm always running, son of a gun, and that's taking it down and just making it a verb. Just that's, I don't know what you call that in English, but I would call that Grammy-nominated songwriting right there. I've had a good time, it's true. Every day's good when it's time that I don't live there. Ain't not your tune. How about you? Have y'all heard this song before? You know it? Well, look, here's the deal. I have sung the chorus for you twice. Clearly, I'm pretty good at sizing up rooms, and I looked around this one and I decided that y'all are pretty bright minds. I can tell. You can tell, you can sense these things. Y'all are bright people. I've sung the chorus for you twice. You've heard it a million times on the radio, and I made it rhyme so that it would be easy to remember. Yeah. So I want y'all to do something for me. I want you to, now I want you to turn to your neighbor and breathe directly in their face. I'm just kidding. That's not what I want. I want you to sing along with me. Here we go, baby. Well, I'm festival. That's right. Hillbilly rock star. Oh, y'all are good. I need to rewind your stuff. That's right. One more time. To rewind real slow. I need to rewind real slow. I need to rewind real slow. And I can sing way down low. I still got some 9 holes to go. Thank you. So that was a hit for. You know it? Yeah. Who sings it? That's Kenny Chesney. He's the one that sings it. But you know, what I always tell people, I get it all the time. I don't care how many times I tell a crowd, I wrote these songs. I mean, I didn't. I wrote it. You know, at the end of the show. Somebody comes up and goes, man, you're pretty good. You know, you ought to get some of your own songs. So just so y'all understand here, I'm not singing covers tonight. The song, I wrote all these songs. The songs you're hearing, those guys you hear on the radio are covered me. Okay? So, I was the first one ever to hear these songs with human ears. What, man, I thought I was coming to Amarillo where it's 3,600 feet elevation. I know I was coming to subtropical Africa. Or keep expecting to look out the window and see my daughter out there building a house somewhere. This place is hot. Woo. We got a big highway back in Nashville too. It's only about 97. I was in Dallas yesterday in a car. You from Dallas? I did a show over there with 2 other writers. I think Jay was telling me about the Writers in the Round. Is that what you said? Or you talking about our show? Yeah, Writers Round. Over there, instead of doing a solo show, we had 3 songwriters that would be like this. And we just take turns playing songs. And one of them was saying, "Man, I tell you what, it's just hot here. He said, it's gonna, at any moment, I just see a dark cloud moving in, bank fog, just cool the whole thing off. As he was saying, I'm 99 to 100 dashboard. I'll play you some songs you might have heard before if you particularly do this in the country radio. And I'll be playing you some songs you've never heard before. Some of them you probably never hear again. I always kind of figured you should have heard them again. Some of them you might hear someday on the radio, you just haven't heard them yet. This is one that's been around for a little while. And it's been recorded a couple times. But I wrote this song because a few years back I got a phone call. I live in Nashville, but I grew up in Memphis, which is 200 miles away. So I got a phone call from my mother. She says, "You know, you really need to come home." And I said, I know. I need to home to visit more often. She said, "No, you can come home and talk to Daddy right now." I said, "Why?" She said, "Well, your daddy, they're prepping him for emergency surgery." I said, "Okay, well, 3 hours away. I got to grab a toothbrush. I'll be there in 3 hours and 5 minutes." I think I made it in about 2 hours and 40. And I ran into the pre-op room, you know, my dad was laying there. I got to just in time to blow his back and say a prayer with him and send him off in a triple bypass surgery. And it was tough, you know, your dad is, I was always the shrimp of my dad. My dad was a big man. And he could do anything. He could take a rusty nut off the bolt, a pair of pliers, fix the car. Anyway, they took him back there. And it was scary, but you know what? He made it. He came out flying colors, big suit. And after about 3 days in the recovery there, a couple days in my CU, recovery, it occurred to me that his mother, my grandmother, was 94 years old, still there. And she was at a point in her life where she knew if she loved you. She may not know who you are, but she knew if she loved you. And she knew if it had been too long since you'd come by to see her. And she and my dad shared back then, you know. And so every morning he'd go there and have a cup of coffee with her. Go by in the evening with a piece of pie or something. So I figured, well, somebody needs to go tell people. That's what I call it, people. That, you know, that was going on with Dad, so that she won't be worried. So I made sure my dad was in good shape, and I got in the car and I rode out to her house. And when I got there, I walked into her living room, and she was sitting in her chair, had a little Afghan over her knees, you know. Had the remote control on one arm of her chair and the TV guide on the other. And when she looked up, she saw me, she said, "Oh, come on in here and sit down, honey." And I laughed and came and sat down. We talked for a little while. After a good bit, I said, "Heard anything from Glenn?" That's my dad. "You heard anything from Glenn?" She said, "Lord, no, where's he been?" And I said, "Well, that's really why I came by to talk to you. Glenn's been in the hospital." She said, "What is it?" I said, "Well, he's doing good, but he had a little surgery." "What kind of surgery was it?" I said, "Well, it was heart surgery." She said, "Oh my word, it's going to be okay." I said, he's better than he's been in a long time. And she said, finally, after a while, convinced me, she said, "Well, if you say so," I said, "I do." She said, "Okay." She said, "Listen, I know that I love you, but are you my son or my nephew?" And I said, "Well, I think we're the son." Now, there's something you need to know about me. I'm not nearly as old as you think I am. I promise you. I'm not going to ask you to guess because that'd be rude. I get it. But yesterday I turned 49. I hadn't made 50 yet. I know I look like I'm 60, but I haven't gotten there yet. So I know that when I told my grandmother that she was my grandmother, she was looking at me and she's thinking, oh, they can't be my grandson. I'm not that old. But she kind of went longer. We talked a little longer and finally I said, she looked at me and she started kind of making a connection maybe between me and the bed. She said, what about Glenn? Where's he been? I said, Glenn's in the hospital. She said, the hospital? Lord, what's going on? So we had to go through the whole thing again. Finally, I had just kind of a wicked little thought. And I sat down with her. I said, Bebo, I want to ask you a question. She said, what's that? I said, how old are you? She said, well, let's see. How old am I? I said, why don't you tell me? She said, well, I was born in 1917. This was about age ago. I said, now you tell me. Why don't you tell me how old you are? I said, yes. And she did. So finally went back to her bathroom and I found this old hand. I brought it out to her, handed it to her, and said, yes, baby, tell me how old you are. She looked at her for a long time. And, you need to understand that as old as I may look, my grandmother was a beautiful woman, had great skin, and clear, big, clear blue eyes. Her hair was just as blonde as it was the first time she dyed it, And she looked into that mirror and without missing a beat, she looked at me and she said, 65? I said, no, you're not 65. This time she didn't take a breath. She said, 60? You can't make this up. I said, no, honey, you're going the wrong way now. Finally, she says, tell me how old I am, Dad. So you're not going to believe me when I tell you, but you're not. She says, no, really, how old are you? You're not 40, dude. She was just aghast. She couldn't believe it. I said, people, listen, you're 50 years older than me. You remember that? You see the wheels kind of turn. She looked at me. She said, yes. Yes, you were my 50th birthday. Your Rivers. I said, yes, we were my Rivers. And she said, oh, honey. Oh, it's so good to see you. I said, oh, it was good to see you, too. And then she kind of grinned a little bit and she said, my word, I must be 110. You can't make it up. It got me thinking about things, when my grandmother was a little girl. When my grandmother was a little girl, they were still bringing, horses and wagons into downtown Memphis, down the cotton gins and whatever, warehouses. Today I can be I could be 50 miles west of here. I could be all the way up in Kansas with a cell phone and just ask the phone, what's the current price of cotton? And they'll tell me within a 10-minute quote of what it's going for, Things have sure changed since my grandmother was a little girl, but when it comes to matters of the heart, nothing has really changed, has it?
Someone's on a red-eye flight, and someone's heart is breaking back at home. Heading somewhere out there in a bar, someone swipes a credit card and buys a beer to cry in all night long. And in a chat room out in cyberspace, they might not be face to face, but they both know they're doing something wrong. They could say we've come a long, long way, but talking about the world today, it still sounds like an old school country song. 'Cause folks still love and folks still leave, drunks get drunk and cheaters cheat, and there's still something lonesome about a midnight train. Someone done somebody wrong, and we'll miss mama when she's gone, and trust me, that ain't ever gonna change. Breaking up is still a mess, and it don't make your heart hurt less just 'cause you texted from a mobile phone. All you've ever done, you see, is modernize the melody, but y'all, it's still an old school country song. Drunks get drunk and cheaters cheat, and there's still something lonesome about a midnight train. Someone done somebody wrong, and we'll miss mama when she's gone, and trust me, that ain't ever gonna change. No way. So you can take it off that old jukebox and burn it on your new iPod. The three chords and the truth are just as strong. All you'll ever do, you see, is modernize the melody, but hey, it's still an old school country song. Lord, I love an old school country song. Thank you. Thank you very much. I was in a studio in downtown Nashville working and doing what we call work tapes, which is where I got some songs I don't want to forget, but I'm not sure I want to spend money on them yet. So I go in the studio and write them, just put them down, me and my little acoustic guitar, so you know, I don't forget them. And you don't really need a terribly nice studio for that, so I rented kind of a cheaper room. And you get what you pay for, as Jay knows, when you're dealing with acoustical environments. A cheap studio means you don't always get sound isolation, and which I was kind of needing because there wasn't a whole lot of me, but there was a whole lot of the band in the room working next to me. It was a full-on rock and roll band, man. They had 2 or 3 electric guitars, and drums and bass and doo-wop singers and the whole thing. I mean, this was a lot of noise coming out of that room, and they were good. Don't get me wrong, but every time they'd start playing, I'd have to turn my studio up, and every time I did that, well, they'd turn theirs up too, and then it became a war, you know. And I only had one gun, and they had big cannons, you know. So anyway, after a while, the door opens, and there's like 6 guys standing in my doorway there, and I'm like 1,500 pounds in men, maybe 1,800 pounds, and 800 or 900 pounds of it was hair. You know, this is a pretty rugged-looking rock and roll band, and the leader of this rough-looking crowd looks at me and says, "Man, can you turn it down over here? We can't hear ourselves think next door." But he had a smile on his face, and it was Leonard Skinner. Yeah. And I said, "Boys, you just made every dream I had in junior high come true right here." Only, you know, I still got somebody telling me to turn it down. It's not my mom, though. It's Leonard Skinner, you know? This is fantastic. So I went back and wrote this song for him. Well, I was drinking torpedoes in a bar in Toledo when a long-legged looker slunk in. She sat down beside me. I said, "Hey, baby, light me. Thank me with a pinch on my chin." But that conversation, a few more like this. vacation, we were getting on like old friends. The band played a fast one. She said, do you dance, son? I said, baby, let the party begin. She was doing the go-go, I was working my mojo. Well, certainly a mountain up here. Yeah, it feels like a boulder and a chip on his shoulder. And I noticed that the dance floor had cleared. She stepped back behind me and said, Earl, how'd you find me? I call that single ass of you. That's when he grabbed my collar, bent down and hollered, boy, you got some swinging to do. I said, it ain't what you think, yeah, what you think is what I think you're thinking right now. It's just a misunderstanding, right here that we're having. I'm sure that we can work it all out. I promise you, mister, she's like my kid sister. We spent the whole night talking Dutch talk. You know it looks like this evening, I might have been drinking, but it ain't what you're thinking at all. Just in time, and he took out this bad looking dude. Then out of thin air came a cane bottom chair and all kinds of hell breaking loose. Blood, teeth, and head, well, I had to wait. The bartender called the police. They lined us all up, said he started this stuff. And everybody pointed at me. I said, it ain't what you think, it's what you think is what I think you're thinking right now. It's just a misunderstanding, right here that we're having. I'm sure that we can work it all out. I promise you, officer, I kept my hands off her. Refer back to the first song I played. I promise you, officer, I kept my hands off of her. Yeah. Again, Brendan, I made it stuff. I wanna go party this fall. You know that looks like a steeping. I might have been drinking, but it ain't what you're thinking at all. 30 days in the slammer, and that old judge banged his hammer, and the guards let me out down the hall. And I shouted, Your Honor, I know she's your daughter. They didn't think you'd raise yourself one of these little sweet sorority girl princesses, you know, with the Mercedes convertible, the bumper sticker that says my princess and my money go to SAD. Well, it ain't what you're thinking at all. Now, before you start writing letters to your pastor and telling him about that heathen that got up and sang in the pulpit last Sunday or Saturday, know that he has no clue what I'm doing tonight. We have not even met him yet. Where is your pastor? Is he here? Huh? Oh, you're the pastor. You are the cat. Okay. Ain't what I'm thinking now. Really not, because man, he was getting on, man. He was getting into that thing for a second there. I'm trying to. This ain't your everyday kind of Pastor Cat over here, is it? I like it. I like that. I love the Lord, and I only know how to be who He created me to be. I don't know whatever I'm trying to say. That's all I turn it up, I can turn it down, but I can't change the station. I'm sorry. What you see is what you get. And I'm a long way from perfect, I can assure you. The side of my head, I just learned to stay out of his way. But then street fights, blue lights, long nights with the world sitting on my chest, it just showed me how much I could take. All the rain, bad luck, well sometimes life's rough, but that's alright, I'm okay. It ain't never been another day, and only God knows where I'd be if you ever stop loving me. Well, the bank man, the boss man, the lawman have all tried to get their hands on me, and I ain't even done one thing wrong. I've been waylaid, freight train, shortchanged about bigger than better men, and all I got to say is bring it on. All the rain, rough roads, so my life goes, but that's alright, I'm okay. It ain't another day, and only God knows where I'd be if you ever stop loving me. I need you, I got to have you in my life by my side. Every day I'm alive, every night that I breathe and I feel. I'm alright, I'm okay. It ain't never but another day. Only God knows where I'd be if you ever stop loving me. Can't you see what your loving does to me? Have you heard that one? That was the #1 for a couple of buddies of mine from Kentucky, Troy Gentry and Eddie Montgomery Gentry. That was their first #1, and it was my first #1 as a producer. I'd written some, but that was the first time I had produced one. It's been an unusual year. It's been kind of crazy at my house. We've had some tragedies this year and some celebrations, some good things. I feel like we've kind of turned, as a parent, you know, you pour everything. It's all about your kids, you know. Every year I try to put it in perspective for my sons who go to this little school. You know, it's a private school in Nashville. We got to pay for it. The school system in Tennessee is pretty rugged, and we have we're zoned for a school that's not very good. And so, all that to say, my brother-in-law, we lost him in March. He's had cancer, and we've been kind of helping take care of his kids. And anyway, I kind of dropped the ball with these boys, and they got off track a little bit. They didn't do anything terrible or irreparable or whatever, but they certainly didn't make any grades, I can assure you that. And I tried to explain to them that every time we pay their tuition and send them to school, by the time we buy them some new cleats for track and pay the admission fees to all these drum ball games, I mean, my word. I thought I already paid this when I paid their tuition to go to school there. I got to pay again to get into the game to go watch them pay for the team that I'm paying for already. I wonder if Jerry Jones has to buy a ticket to one of the Cowboys games, you know? It's just kind of aggravating. So crap, every year I just take a new car and I drive it off a cliff. I hope y'all are happy. But man, we've all kind of adjusted and they've seemed to have turned a corner here. And I'm very grateful for it. My daughter's in Africa, I told you that. She's, oh man, I wish I could see Maggie. I wish I could bring her and introduce you to her. She's 21, she'll be 22 in August. She's going to her senior year of college. Beautiful. Looks just like her mama. A super athlete. Blew her ACL out senior year playing lacrosse, and that was done. Because we had a surgery to correct it, and the surgery went poorly, and left her partially paralyzed in her right leg. But you know, she can walk. She can run a little bit. It's not very pretty, but she can do it, you know. And she smiles, and during one of the hardest moments of all that, she looked at me and she said, "Daddy, what's the worst thing that can happen? They cut my leg off and I have a fake leg. Big deal." That's my daughter. I talked to her earlier this week and said, "How you doing over there?" She said, "Oh, I'm good." She said, "You know, it's awesome that people love you so much. Pastor Julius, you remember him?" I said, "Yeah, I remember Pastor Julius. He said hello. He said he loves you." I said, "Tell him I love him too." And I do. That's the weird thing about it. This is some African guy. I barely remember what he looks like. You know, I spent 1 week with him in Kigali, Rwanda, but I love him, you know. I said, "You okay?" She said, "Yeah, I'm really, really homesick, Daddy. I really am. But I knew it was going to be this way and it'll pass. I just got to keep hanging in there, you know. Lord has a reason for me to be here." I wouldn't go into anything like that knowing I was going to be that miserable on the front end, you know. I'm grateful for all of it. But I'm human. God is great, and I am not. I occupy a very tiny spot, a twig upon the tree of all humanity, with 7 billion branches. But lately I've been wrestling with some questions that don't have easy answers. Why am I here? Where did all of this come from? Where will I end up when I die? Or will I be done? Do I get a do-over? Didn't he say he'd meet me in the sky? Did he make us? Did we make him? So sinners like me can't sleep at night. So many questions, no easy answer. God is good, they always say. It's just that he moves in mysterious ways. But I still don't understand why he sits on his hands while some folks die from cancer and leaves us wide awake at night with questions that don't have easy answers. Why am I here? Where did all of this come from? Where will I end up when I die? Will I be done? Do I get a do-over? Didn't he say he'd meet me in the sky? Did he make us? Did we make him? So sinners like me can sleep at night. So many questions, no easy answer. All my life I had 9 doubts, but if love's what he's really all about, then could it be he looks at me and don't just see some sorry faithless bastard, but just another child he is with questions that don't have easy answers. Why am I here? Where did all of this come from? I'm going to give y'all the folky section of my show here. I'm going to keep it in the same bag. This is for the pastor. Maldonado is your last name. That's Sonny Maldonado. Spike. It's for Pastor Spike here. I bet he's been on both sides of this song at some point in your life. I certainly have. He yelled out from the back row, "Look here, preacher man, we know you're new here, but you need to understand, it don't really scare us when you yell and shake your fist. Hey, we already know that hell exists. It's 6 months shy of 30 years when the boss man lays you off, and no thanking you, no parachute, no shiny new gold watch. It's payments that you can't make on a house that you can't sell. Yeah, men don't have to die to go to hell. You don't have to die to go to hell. To tell us about them angels, how they fly around and sing, and tell us how to get there, brother, we all wanna be resting in the arms of Jesus. No more shame or pain or tear. There's hell enough to go around down here. It's a place out by the airport where the girls dance just for you, and all you feel is drunk and broke and lonely when they're through. It's waking up with nothing but that stale tobacco smell. Hey, you don't have to die to go there. It's every other weekend, Wednesdays with your kid, and knowing that he'll hate you when he finds out what you did. 'Cause you'd all still be together if you loved his mama well. You don't have to die to go there. Men don't have to die to go there. Tell us about them angels, how they fly around it and sing.
You keep giving me one of these. Are you asking a question, or are you just saying, "Hey, man, I like that"? Okay, I dig it. Keep it up. Keep doing it. Now I know. You dig. I want to make sure if you had a question, I wasn't ignoring you. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. Well, I can't wait to get you saying that on video so I can show my wife and say, "See, I told you. I've been telling you this for a long time. I'm special. I'm something." She doesn't get it anymore, I promise you. There was a time now. She looked at me and stars filled her eyes, and now she says, "Yeah, take the trash out." Not bad, you're good, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, she's a good one, my wife. We've been married 24 years, come August 1. 4 children, 1 wife. I'm excited about that. I'm proud of that. Took me in the music business. Hey, thank you. 24 years in music years is like 180 years of marriage. And when you're married to me, it probably feels like 280, I'm sure. This is a song I wrote for my wife, who's another one. I wish she could be here and y'all can meet her. She's the sweetest thing. She's gotten really big lately, but she's really sweet. I'm just kidding, y'all. I shouldn't have said that. Was that tacky? No. It's on video now, isn't it? Oh, great. Don't put that on YouTube or anything. I'm not going to make it to 24 years. It'll be over quick. Now, you know, I told her the other day, she said, "God, my butt just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's crazy." And she works hard. I mean, you know, my phone is freaking. This is me. This isn't one of y'all that didn't turn their phone off tonight. I'm so sorry. It's freaking out. It probably is now. It may very well be. You just completely, I have no clue what I was saying before that now. What was I saying? Oh yeah, she said, my butt just gets bigger all the time. And I said, you know, honey, here's the thing. And I figured this out a long time ago. I could sit around and wish she had a smaller butt, you know, or I could just decide that, man, I like a bigger butt. The older I get, the bigger I like that thing, man. I'm just gonna tell you. It's pretty nice. Works out really good for both of us, to be honest with you. I shouldn't have said that. Should I have kept that to myself? I can turn it up, I can turn it down, but I cannot change the station. I'm sorry. I need some help. I wrote this for her when she got her first gray hair. She was depressed about it. And Jay made a special call to me to make sure that I would play this and dedicate to Vicky. It wasn't about the gray hair. That was my side of the story. Just listen to it. Just listen to the rest of it. Chestnut hair with just a touch of green. The shadows of a few more years on the face. That ain't the girl that I knew yesterday. Oh, no, now that's a woman. Up and running at the crack of dawn. There ain't always time to get her makeup on, but she's more beautiful without it on. Oh, now that's a woman. I knew it when I got here, I promise you. She's got a grace that I can't understand. And she moves mountains with those gentle hands.
a king out of a common man. Hey, that's me. Lucky me. That's me. And in the evening when the kids are down, I can see she's getting sleep. Still she finds some time for me somehow. Oh, now that's a woman. That's a woman. We had this guy in our neighborhood. He's a nice guy, and I've known him for a long time. Our kids grew up together, played baseball together, and against each other. And his wife was in Bible studies with my wife, and this guy quit his job to be a writer, not a songwriter, but like a novelist. And he sought my advice or whatever a lot. And I met with him all the time and gave it to him, and then he just started having some issues. Man, I don't know what happened. They went crazy, and I mean, seriously, I'm not making that up. He's the only one that doesn't understand it. That's the problem. And I've tried to tell him. I've loved him as best I knew how. And got sideways with our church, and we didn't know whose side we were on. We didn't know all the details, but I knew that I kept loving him. And people in the church were like thinking we were against them, and he thought I was against him. And I'm like, that's for everybody, But finally, I ran into him not long ago, and man, I said, buddy, all I can tell you is that I love you, I love your family. It's all I've ever tried to do to you, is love you. And if you just show me how you need me to do that, then I'll do it. And he said, well, I'll tell you what you can do, you just stop talking to me altogether. Don't even say hey to me. And I said, thank you, God, thank you, Lord, thank you, thank you. I said, I can do it, man. I can do that. I can do it so quick. And I came home and I wrote this song. I know that's not a very good Christian attitude, but I'm sitting at a dive bar, drinking on a credit card. Plane left 2 days ago. Spun a bottle in the sand, came up with a different plan. How much further south can I go? Well, I'm going, yeah, I'm going. I already hear them say, you can't fix crazy. People like us were just born this way. No, you can't fix crazy. You gotta keep around till they come and take you away. Yeah. They're dancing down in New Orleans, partying on Bourbon Street, even when them hurricanes blow. Colorado, kiss the sky, getting Rocky Mountain high. California, you ought to know that I'm going, yeah, I'm going. And I already hear them say, you can't fix crazy. People like us were just born this way. No, you can't fix crazy. You gotta keep around till they come and lock you away. Yeah. Well, I'm going, yeah, I'm going. I'm feeling on my way. I crazy. People like us were just born this way. No, you can't fix crazy. You gotta keep around till they come and lock you away. Yeah, come on, say it with me. Said you can't. People like us.
Yes, something like that. That's pretty good.
Can't fix crazy. So people like us were just born this way. No, you can't fix crazy. You gotta keep around till they come and take you away. Yeah. Oh, you gotta keep around till they come and lock you away.
In 1988, yeah. On my 21st birthday, I took the law school admissions test. I turned 21, and I signed my first publishing deal. Guy said he'd give me $100 a week to write songs for him. His name was Chips Nolan. Big deal. He was huge, man. He came to Memphis, and the Stax Records, you know, the Stax Records in Memphis, Al Green, well, Al was actually after that, Sam and Dave, and Booker T and the MGs. You know, he cut all these people, formed them, recorded them, discovered them, as it were. And then he started his own studio called American Sound Studios in Memphis, and he got so hot and popular as a producer and publisher and all that, studio owner, that people came from all over to record with him. There was a Tuesday in 1968. I wasn't even a year old yet. This is probably January, February of '68. He was recording Neil Diamond during the day. And then when Neil would leave, Elvis would come in at night. And this went on for a couple of weeks. And on this particular Tuesday, Neil came in and they recorded a song that I've only heard it a few times, but I remember hearing it, and I know that it was a big hit, but some of you know it. It was remember that? That was a huge hit, you know. That was Neil. He recorded that on Neil, and they said, "Man, that's a hit, Chips." He said, I know. And they didn't quit there. They kept going. Recorded that one, then they turned around and recorded a song and said, "Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined," hard to quit singing now, "to believe they never would." Oh, no. I can't play it, I don't know the words, but nonetheless, it was just, trust me, if you don't know it, for you youngsters, it was huge. It was gigantic. And Sweet Caroline, man. But that wasn't enough for him. Neil Diamond was walking out, Elvis was walking in, and he comes, they said, "Elvis, we got a song for you." And they sat down and they said, "When the snow flies on a cold and gray Chicago morning, another little baby child is born in the ghetto. And his mama cried." Y'all remember that, don't you? "'Cause there's one thing that she don't need, is another hungry little mouth to feed." And they did that. I said, "Chips, there's 3 big records. I'm not telling you, these are all hits." He says, "I know, let's do another one." And they went, "I'm caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me when you don't need a word I'm saying? Well, we can't do
side, and we can build our dreams on suspicious minds. So if an old friend I know, that one goes on too, but anyway. 4 international legendary classic songs, right? One day. Then he moved to Nashville. He sat down and wrote a song that was like this. It says, it's lonely out tonight, and the feeling just got right for a brand new love song. Remember this? Somebody done somebody wrong. Hey, won't you play another somebody done somebody wrong song? It made me feel at home while I miss my baby, while I miss my baby. Then he hadn't had quite enough, so he went on and sat down with Waylon Jennings and wrote this song and recorded it on Waylon. Let's go to Lucan by Texas with Waylon and Willie and the boys. Remember that one, don't you? This successful life we're living's got us shooting like the Hatfields and the Coors. Between Hank Williams' fame songs and Newberry Strain songs and Blue Eyes crying in the rain, out in Lucan by Texas, there ain't nobody feeling no pain. Then he sat down and produced on Willie. Maybe I didn't love you. Remember that? All those lonely, lonely times. This is just the tip of the iceberg with this guy. I mean, this is a legend. And he said he's going to give me $100 a week to write songs for him. And my first thought is, number one, this guy really must not know what he's doing. Because he's going to pay me to do something I'm going to do anyway. Yes, I'll take your $100. And as soon as I said, yes, I'll take your $100, I thought to myself, Dad, God, if y'all had all that success, you could have given me 2. Too late. I'd already shook hands, you know. So we made a deal, and I signed this publishing deal with him, and I went back to college. He made me promise I'd finish. So I just finished my junior year, and I went back to school. I went to Ole Miss, down in Oxford, Mississippi. And I get down there, and the phone rings one afternoon, a couple months in, and I didn't really know him very well. I didn't see him very much. I got to check every now and then, you know. But he calls me and says, "You ever heard of Highwayman?" I said, "No, sir. Who are they?" He said, "You ever heard of Highwayman? You ever heard the song, The Highwayman?" And I said, "No, sir." He said, "You really don't like country music, do you?" I said, "No, sir, I don't." He says, "Why am I paying you?" I said, "I don't know. I asked myself the same question." He said, "I'll tell you what you do. You go out and buy the single, The Highwayman. This will be a good exercise for you. Go out and buy the single and write the sequel. It's be an interesting, process, exercise." They kind of got offended. I'm thinking to myself, here I am, I'm a professional songwriter, and he's giving me an exercise? Are you kidding me? So I took it seriously. I went and bought the single, came back, listened to it, put it in my cassette deck. Back then, when I was a different man, kind of adjusted my attitude a little bit along the way. That's all I'll say about that. And hit play on that tape deck. And I mean, it blew me away. I remember thinking, if this is country music, what have I been doing with my life, wasting it on rock and roll and R&B and punk? The Highwayman, it's one of those songs that ought to be carved on Mount Rushmore, you know? It's just a phenomenal song. And I listened to it about 40 times. I stayed up all night and I wrote a song. So my roommate, I had this rat hole I was sharing with 2 other guys, and one of them hated country music like me, and the other guy loved it. And he comes in early in the morning. He said, "Wait, what have you been doing in here all night? I didn't sleep a wink." And I said, "I've been working on a song." He said, "Well, play it." So I played it for him. He says, "Man, that's really good." I said, "You think so?" He said, "I do, man. You got to play that for that guy Chips." I said, "I think I'm gonna." So my roommates went to class, and I stayed home like normal. And I sat there and started calling his phone up in Memphis. Chips, until he answered. Finally,
Took me several hours to get him on the phone, but he finally answered his phone. He said, "Can I come play this song?" He said, "Okay." And so I drove up to Memphis, got to his house. He had a big fence. Went all the way around that place, man. This wasn't like a chain link fence like we had. This thing was wrought iron, you know. Had a keypad with a gate. And I punched the number that he had told me and it didn't work. Now I was too young to realize that that was not a mistake. And it wasn't broken. So I did the only thing I knew to do, which was jump and spins. If you're 21 and really are going nowhere in life, then I highly recommend jumping a stance. That's a good idea. If you have any hope or any future at all, don't jump anybody's fence. Not a good idea. Got attacked by this big dog, you know, and German Shepherd climbed this oak tree, and the cops came and they had their guns out, and squad cars were all pulling up. And finally, he comes down the hill and starts laughing, sends the cops on, calls off the dogs. Brings me in, listens to my song, crushes out a cool filter king, and sends me back to Oxford, Mississippi. I said, well, that was my music career right there. I blew it. But you know, a couple weeks later, he called me and said, "Hey, can you come to Nashville on Monday?" I said, "Well, I've got a class. Can we do it the following Monday? That's my spring break." He started laughing and said, "No, it's got to be Monday." I said, "Well, I'll be there." So I skipped class, and I drove up to Nashville. I went to the address he gave me. This time, pushed the code, and the gate opened. And I went into the studio, and when I opened the door, there was Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash, and Chris Christopherson. And me. Got really quiet when I walked in, because here are these legends, you know, and then here comes this kid, this college boy, with a black leather jacket and lizard skin boots and a mullet. And that's back when my hair was dark, ladies. I just want you to know. Dark and curly. But they all kind of thought, who in the world is this? They got dead quiet, you know. And all of a sudden I hear this voice, my friend Chips. He says, "Rip, play your song for these boys." Oh, now? Gotcha, okay. So I got down on my knee and I played a song. I got finished. Now look, I've got a wife. I've got 4 children. I heard my wife say, "Yes, I will marry you." And I do. And I heard her say, "Hey, guess what? I bought a bunch of clothes today. Spent $400 on clothes, but I'm going to take them all back." I said, "Dadgum right, you're going to take them back." He said, "No, I'm going to have to take them back." I said, "Yes, you're going to have to take them back because we can't pay for them." She said, "Well, I won't be able to wear them in a couple of months." I said, "Oh, gotcha. Gotcha, okay." These are all wonderful things to hear in life, you know? But the sweetest words that have ever fallen on these ears were when I was 21 years old, sitting in that studio, and I heard Chris Christopherson say, "Well, hell, that's right up our alley." What? Next thing I knew, I was out there in the studio singing my song with their band and teaching Johnny Cash how to sing my tune, you know. Now, Mr. Cash, actually, the melody goes up there at the end of that. "Oh, yeah, kid, okay, I got it. Got enough. Right over there, right over there." I walk back in the control room, and Waylon Jennings is sitting there. He's got his feet propped up on the console, you know. He sees me come in. He says, "Hey, kid." I said, "Yes, sir." So were you scared out there in that little room with Johnny Cash? In the back of my head, I could hear my mother saying, "Listen, I don't care where we grew up. I don't care what kind of car we drive. You're as good as anybody. You hold your head high." So I looked at Waylon Jennings and I said, "No, sir, I wasn't scared at all." And he looked back at me kind of like this. He goes, "Shoot." Or something like that anyway. I think
he was right too, I don't know. This is the first song I ever had recorded. Johnny Cash said, I am a shotgun rider for the San Jacinto line. The desert is my brother, my skin is cracked and dry. I was riding on a four-course and everything was fine till we took a shorter road to save some time. The bandits only fired once they shot me in the chest. They may have wounded me, but they'll never get the best of better men. And I'll ride again. I am a man. See, this was Waylon Jennings, by the way. He says, I am a river gambler. I make a living dealing cards. My clothes are smooth and honest, but my heart is cold and hard. I was shuffling for some Delta boys on the New Orleans. I was the greatest shot they'd ever seen. But the captain bumped a sandbar and an ace fell from my speed. They threw me overboard as I swore I didn't cheat, but I could swim, and I'll ride again. And the house said, we are heroes of the homeland, American remains. We live in many faces and answer many names. We will not be forgotten, we won't be left behind. Our memories live on in borderline. And poets been, we'll ride again. You know, Willie says, he goes, I am a Midwest farmer, I make a living off the land. I ride a John Deere tractor, I'm a liberated man. But the rain, it hasn't fallen since the middle of July. And at this point in the song, Willie kind of goes, hey, hold on. We all kind of looked around and he was like this. Just right there in front of God and everybody, man. Yeah. Look at him like this. He sees me looking. He says, hey kid. I said, yes sir. He says, you want some of this? I said, well, I mean, Mr. Willie, I'll be honest with you. Well, I'm a songwriter and I go to Ole Miss. What do you think? Yeah. However, I have a feeling one day I'm going to be at a church in Amarillo, Texas, playing for a bunch of fine people. I want to be able to tell them, I did not inhale. He said, I like a living off the land. I ride a John Deere tractor. I'm a liberated man. But the rain, it hasn't fallen since the middle of July. And if it don't come soon, my crops will die. The bankman says he likes me, but there's nothing he can do. He tells me that he's coming, but the clouds are coming too. He ain't my friend, and I'll ride again. Finally, Chris Christopherson says, I am an American Indian, my tribe is Cherokee. My forefathers loved this land, they left it here for me. But the white man came with boats and trains and his dirty factory, and poisoned my existence with his deeds. Nature is our mother, we are sucklings at her breast. And he who tries to beat her will lose her to the rest. They'll let her win, I'll ride again. They'll never win, and I'll ride. again. Thank you. Well, I came ready from Nashville, talking Nashville, Tennessee. I just want y'all to know, usually when I get to Kansas, they get up there and they roll out a red carpet for me now. Came up in Amarillo just to see all the old people. See, y'all didn't know you're going to come here tonight and sit on the edge of your seat all night thinking, is he really going to say what I think he's getting ready to say right there in my church? Is he going to do that? Is he going to talk that way? Is he going to sing that song? Is that what's going to happen here tonight? You think you're uncomfortable, you got to think about your poor pastor over here, man. He has no idea what's coming next. Y'all ain't never known no one like me. Up there in your high society, that don't ever get around no good. Girl, they need to understand who I am. I may be a real bad boy, oh, but baby, I may be a good man. And talk too loud and go with a rough and rowdy crowd. That don't mean I don't respect my mama or my Uncle Sam. Yes, yes, ma'am. But I may be a real bad boy, oh, but baby, I'm a real good man. At least in country mile ride, woman, if you run with me, it's gonna be a wild ride. When it comes to loving, I gotta feel it, and I'll show you how a real bad boy can be a real good man.
I've got one more problem. I only need, really, I mean, a better guitar player would only need 5 to entertain you all. However, I am in need of 6. I've got another one in my case over there. Let me just get this one off of there and get started. Oh no, it's a terrible time to go to the bathroom, man. It's getting ready to get crazy in here. I'm telling you, it's going to be so fun. I told you about my daughter earlier that, what time ago? Okay. So, oh yeah, fun? I'm going to keep going for a while. I'm going to hang on a couple more. A few more songs. What's it, Saturday night? It's 9:15. What time's the first service tomorrow? 6, is it really? Oh, I got the wrong string. Your name? Joe. Oh, you're the son. Yeah, okay, great. And are you a pilot or something? Are you a pilot? Oh, really? Okay. Because I Googled you. Now, I'm telling you, I Googled you before I came out here. Oh, Lord. Oh, my gosh. You came out okay, too. My Lord. Well, one of my good friends is a pilot. He just got his pilot's license. He's a songwriter. He's real smart. In fact, he dropped out of med school to come and play sailing. I guess that doesn't say a whole lot about how smart he is, does it? But he is a smart guy. Anyway, we got to play with him. We were talking for years about getting a plane because we do these shows, and I said, man, we could just split it and learn how to fly it, and you know, instead of flying commercial, we get on a plane, we're home again. I mean, I don't know how long it would take to fly to Amarillo from Nashville, but I bet I could do it. Is it 4 hours? Yeah, shoot, I'd be sleeping home in my bed tonight, you know. But I got to plane with him. He went in and did it. He kept waiting for me. I bought a motorcycle. And my wife said, yeah, that's enough of that. You know. I told her when I turned 40, I said, you got 3 choices. She said, what's that? I said, a pilot's license, a motorcycle, or a mistress. She said, they're all 3 divorceable offenses. But I did notice all of a sudden she was circling classified ads with motorcycles and leaving them out all over the house. You know? So I got the motorcycle. But my buddy bought that plane, you know, and we had a show up in Louisville. And, which is, I don't know, it took an hour to fly out there, bro. Real simple flight. And, but I said, man, I don't know, Brad, I love you, no, I think I'm just going to drive. And he said, oh man, come on, we've been talking about this forever, I can fly this thing. And he's got a parachute, he spent money, man. This thing's got a parachute on the plane. And I'm not talking about for the pilot or for the passenger, I'm talking about for the plane. It starts going down, you pull the ripcord, and the whole plane just floats down out of the sky, you know. I said, okay, I'll get in that thing with you. So we get a plane and we take off, and all of a sudden,
we're bouncing around like a roller coaster at a cheap fair, you know. And I hear him on the headset, and he goes, wow, yeah, I've never had my plane in this kind of turbulence before. And you chose to tell me this now? Really? Yeah. Now what I said was, hey man, it's cool. On the inside I'm thinking, God, please get me out of the sky, please get me out of the sky. Don't let Brett die in a plane crash, particularly not right now. And but I'm trying to be as cool as I can, you know. And finally we come in, I can hear the air traffic control. Sierra Tango 505, tell us your current record, please. Roger that, I'm 2 miles away from the runway, coming in southern, heading to 453, you know all this stuff, I can't do it. And all of a sudden, the air traffic control said, Sierra Tango 505, that is not the runway. Repeat, that is not the runway. He's got his pilot's voice on. Oh, roger that, air traffic control, little guys, as soon as the runway's in sight. Hey, Rick, that look like an airport right there? I said, no, Brett, that looks like a shopping mall. But that over there now, that looks like an airport over there in the distance, you know? And he says, oh yeah, good eye. I'm thinking, I know this guy. I've written songs with this guy. I know how goofy he is. And I volunteered to get in this airplane with him. You know, if I go down, it is all my fault. But clearly we made it. He's called me and asked me to fly 2 or 3 more gigs we've done together. I said, oh, you know what, I'm going to leave the day before. I got family up there. I'm going to go see them the night before. Yeah. Rivers, really? You got family in, you know, Guadalajara? Or you got family in St. Thomas? Do you really? You got family in... Okay, maybe I don't have family, but maybe I want to have family when this trip is over. Well, I'll play a few more songs for y'all and then we'll get on that. What time did you say church starts tomorrow? 10:30? So you got to be here probably 8. Around there. And I'll be right behind you, brother. Right behind you. Lord, Lord. At old bear cans, choking on the smoke from a lucky strike. Somebody lived that off of his old man. We were fed by funky southern rock junkies, screaming at the stereos, singing I'm proud to give me 3 steps, Simple Man and Curtis Lowe. We were good, you know. Got a discount knowledge at the junior college, we were natured in beard girls, and it was all real funny till we ran out of money and they threw us out into the world. And the kids are slow in running this town, ain't running much in their thing. We're just loving and laughing and busting our backs, and we call it all living the dream. And these are my people, this is where I come from. We're giving this life everything we got and then some. It ain't always pretty, but it's real. That's the way we were made, wouldn't have it any other way. These are my people. Well, we'll take it all week on the gym with the grand till we make it to a Friday night. And the church sings softball, holler about a bad call, preacher breaking up the fight. And they around at the green light, turning on, everybody gathers the friends. And the beers are poured until Monday morning when we'll start it all over again. And these are my people, this is where I come from. We're giving this life everything we got and then some. It ain't always pretty, Somebody, y'all know this song? This was a huge #1 hit. Y'all really don't know it? These Are My People? You know the Big Rodney Atkins thing? Yeah, this was huge. Okay. We got heart, but we got nerve. Even if we are a little bit disturbed, thank you. Otherwise, my life's work would come to absolutely nothing for a second. I love coming into a church where I can play these songs and not feel uncomfortable about it, you know? I really do. When I was a brand new Christian, one of the first things I learned in the Bible was when Jesus was in the Garden of Gethsemane. The night before he was crucified, you know, he prayed. He said, Lord, let these followers of mine be one, even like you and I, even as you and I are one. And he said, not only them, but the ones that will follow them, let them be one too. And you know, it's funny, a lot of churches I go to, sometimes my own church, I can walk in and I don't feel a whole lot of oneness going on, you know. But there's some churches where I walk in and people are people. They're not trying to be something they're not. They just love the Lord and you feel that oneness, you know. It's mystical. And that means, y'all are my people, you're where I come from. Yeah, I'm giving this life everything we got and it's so. It ain't always pretty, but it's real. That's the way we were made, with never any other way. That's the way we were made, with never any other way. And these are my people. Thank you. Jack and Jill went up that hill, but what are they doing lately? Jack came down and he split town, left Jill to raise the baby. Jill, she cried and swallowed her pride and moved in with her mom. And old Jack's star fell pretty hard somewhere in the old home. And the world turns on. The world turns on. The world turns crazy on. Did you ever hear the one about good old Humpty Dumpty? He sat high up there on Wall Street and played with everybody's money. But he had a great fall and left us all picking up the pieces. Now Grandpa's sacking groceries and talking more to Jesus. And the world turns on. The world turns on. The world turns crazy on. And round and round and round it goes. Where it stops nobody knows. You just place your bets and pray you get some luck. And all that you can really do is live your life until it's through. And hope you find somebody you can love. While the world turns on. Yeah, the world turns on. The world turns crazy on. That's just a little something there in between tunes. Thank you. I told y'all I went to Ole Miss, and if you haven't figured it out by now, I like to talk more than I like to sing, so I tell a lot of stories. And I'm going to tell you a few more and we're going to leave. But I went to Ole Miss, and when it came time for me to go to college, well, my daddy said, "Where do you want to go to school?" I said, "Well, this is not a communicable disease. That's just like a what? Like a dog guy?" No, that's a good guess, though. That's poison ivy. Y'all don't have that here, do you? Yeah. Do you have something? Yeah. You got it here? Okay, all right, yeah. Well, that's 2 weeks old. Every time I get it, it gets worse than the time I got it the last time. It's crazy. But anyway, when it came time for me to go to school, I knew my dad didn't have any money. And I said, "Well, I'm going to start a band, Dad." And he said, "Yeah, get in the car." And we drove down to Oxford. And we went into the financial aid office. So we sat down and the guy says, "Can I help you?" And my dad said, "Well, yeah, we're hoping so. That's why we're here." And he said, "Well, son, did you take the ACT or the SAT?" I said, "Well, I took the ACT." He said, "You bring your score with you?" I said, "Oh, yes, sir, I sure did." He said, "Can I see it?" I said, "Of course." And I slid it across the desk to him. And when I took it, I just wasn't nervous, you know. I wasn't, but I did pretty well. And he looked at it and says, "Oh, yeah, we can give you a scholarship for sure." And my dad said, "Really?" He says, "Oh, yeah." And my dad said, "Well, that's marvelous, you know." And I'm thinking, well, this would be pretty cool. Go to college, you know. But I was an idiot. I didn't know what I was thinking. But finally the guy said, "Now, I said that I do need to see your transcript. Did you bring your transcript?" I said, "Oh, yeah." He said, "Can I play with that?" And I said, "Of course." And I slid it over the desk to him, you know. But when he put his hand on it, I kind of held mine there. I said, "How about that ACT score, huh?" And he said, "Well, I got a C grade, son." So he took a look at him and says, "Oh, so you're a smart kid, but you really don't like school, do you?" I said, "No, sir." He said, "Well, I told your dad we'd give you a scholarship. We'll give you $100 a semester." And my dad said, "That's not going to cut it." He said, "Mr. Rutherford, it's not like academic scholarships are all we have here at Ole Miss." And my dad said, "What do you got?" He said, "Well, we have athletic scholarships, for instance." And my dad kind of gave me the Waylon Jennings, you know. He looks at me like this. "Well, what else you got?" "Well, we got music scholarships." And my dad kind of lit up. "Music? Now, wait a minute. He stays up all night playing the guitar and piano and all that. Where do we go get one of those?" We went over to the music department. I played piano for him. And by the time we made it back to our house in Memphis, my mother came running out the door. Said, "You just missed it, and they called. They gave you a full piano scholarship. You going to school?" So yeah, I was excited, man. When I got down there, it didn't take me very long to snap off. I was the only piano major in the SEC that dipped snuff, drank beer, and chased women. I was the one and only piano major that did all three of those things. I never was the biggest or the fastest guy. I never hit a home run when the game was done. I knew from an early age I wasn't gonna be a doctor or the CEO of anything. So I sang Gentle on My Mind, and I played Stairway to Heaven 500,000 times. I tried to stand out from the crowd, but most times I just struck out at the plate. So I sang I wasn't cool enough to be a ladies' man. It took me forever just to hold her hand. First time we kissed, she whispered, "I love you." But I wasn't brave enough to say I loved her too. So I sang was so beautiful to me, and I played every note of faithfully. I loved her with everything, but I couldn't think of anything to say. So I sang, no one believed in me like my old man. He worked hard and bought me my first feather strap. And the angels called him home. My mama asked if I would speak, but there were no words to say how much he meant to me. So I sang, it is well with my soul, and I played, I'm so tired of being alone. 'Cause those were Daddy's favorite songs, and what I felt would take too long to say. So I sang, when I get where I'm going, on the far side of the sky, the first thing that I'm gonna do is spread my wings and fly. I'm gonna land beside a line and run my fingers through his wing, or I might find out what it's like to ride a drop of rain. Yeah, when I get where I'm going, there'll be only happy tears, and I will share the sins and struggles I have carried all these years, and I'll leave my heart wide open, and I will love and have no fear. For when I don't cry for me down here. I'm gonna walk with my granddad, and he'll match me step for step, and I'll tell him how I missed him every minute since he left. And then I'll hug his back, yeah, when I get where I'm going, there'll be only happy tears, and I will share the sins and struggles I have carried all these years, and I'll leave my heart wide open, and I will love and have no fear. Yeah, when I get where I'm going, don't cry for me down here. In this world we stumble through questions I can't answer, and so much work to do. But when I get where I'm going, yeah, and I see Jesus' face, I'll live forever in the light of His amazing grace.
First of all, I want to thank y'all very much for having me tonight and for staying here. Happy anniversary to Jay and Mickey. Thank you. Y'all are very kind. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's really sweet of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I am not going to let you go without telling you one more story, though. I am through singing. I'll finish it here. First off, I've had a great time, and I do appreciate it very much. And I did bring some CDs with me. Jay told me to bring them, all right? Yeah. So every penny of the proceeds goes to a very important cause to my family, and I want y'all to know about it. It's called the Educate the Rutherfords Fund. My grandfather, he was an exceptional man, a man of great judgment, you know. And I loved him. He was my best friend. He had a profound impact on my upbringing. He called me two things when I was growing up. He called me honey, and he called me jackass. And I said it at his funeral. He was the only guy I ever knew that could call a man a jackass and make you feel like $1 million. You know? But when I moved to Nashville to write hillbilly music, well, that didn't go over very well with him or my father-in-law, I might add. But my grandfather would call me every Sunday, and he'd make small talk with me. We'd have a conversation. He'd laugh, cut up, ask me how the family was. And he'd always finish it the same way. He'd say, "Honey, I want to ask you a question." I said, "Yes, sir." "What's that?" He'd say, "Is that music business up there in Nashville weathered down?" "Really? I don't know. I mean, yeah, I would think so. I see people all the time making a good living out of it, you know." "Okay, all right, if you say so." A week would go by, phone would ring. "Hello? What do you say there, honey?" "Pretty good. How about you, Granddaddy?" "I'm doing good. Wife's wife?" "Doing really good." "How the kids?" "Oh, they're great, Granddaddy. Doing super. Tell you what, we're missing you." "Oh, I miss you too. I'll tell you." "Hey, honey, let me ask you a question." "Yes, sir." "Is that music business up here in Nashville worth it?" I mean, yeah, I think so. I've told you this before. I think it is. I look around, I see people doing pretty well with it, you know. He's, "Okay, all right, if you say so." Finally, one Sunday, he calls me. My wife comes outside. "Hey, baby, Granddaddy's on the phone." I went in. I knew how this was going to go. I said, "Hey, Granddaddy, how you doing?" "I'm doing pretty good. Shout, how are you?" "Doing good. Doing real good." "How's the wife?" "She's good. She's real good, Granddaddy." "Ah, you treating her right. You know, we'd take her back. We wouldn't have you." "Yes, sir, I do. I know that very well." "All right." "How the kids?" "Oh, they're good, Granddaddy. They're good." "Hey, honey, I want to ask you a question." "Yes, sir, Granddaddy. Is that music business up there in Nashville? What'll do?" I said, "Granddaddy, I tell you what. This time I'm going to tell you the truth." He said, "Well, you and your Granddaddy get along pretty good, right?" I said, "Oh, yeah, Granddaddy, we get along real good." He said, "Well, I want you to tell me the truth." I said, "Okay." I said, "I don't know. I really don't know. But I got to tell you, Granddaddy, I'm not coming home until I find out. For damn sure." And he got real quiet. He said, "Jackass." I feel like I should say something else. I don't know what, but except, my goodness, guys,
I cannot even begin to tell y'all how much I appreciate y'all being here. You know, Vicki and I talked about doing Alaskan cruises and all kinds of stuff, and I said, you know what I really want to do? I said, we found something special in Nashville, Tennessee, and I want to bring that to Amarillo, to our friends, to our family, and I hope you guys really enjoyed tonight. You know, I want to thank y'all so much. Oh, man. I want to thank more than anybody, Vicki. She's put up with me for 40 years. It's right. I mean, what's going on right now is absolutely the right thing, that what should go on, and that is that she's getting all of the, I'm getting all the presents and the congratulations, and she's getting all the condolences. And, but what an amazing woman she has been. I don't know how she puts up with what she does and how she does and when she does, but she is absolutely amazing. And I'm so more than anything, you know, I thank y'all, but I didn't thank her enough because, you know, I'm the one that'll give up from time to time, but she's not. She's not. No, you married Miss Sucker. We're into this thing till the end, you know. So, thank y'all again so much for being here. What an honor it is that you came. Thank y'all so much. We can't say enough. Anything, babe? Please stick around and visit. Rivers will do the same thing that he did when I first met him. He's here. Come visit with him. Say hi. Whatever. I'll tell y'all something. Whenever songwriters do CDs, you think that they just strum out a thing and whatever. By the time he goes from that kind of thing, he was talking about the little work thing, so I can remember what I did. Whenever they do a song the way the stars are going to say, wow, I want to do that song. It's a major production. And in my opinion, my humble opinion, his own original ways of doing his own songs blow away the way the stars do them. Because it's the writer, it's the guy that wrote it. He knows, I mean, you can feel, can't you? The passion, the compassion, you know, all of it that is in it. So, grab one, you know, before you leave. They're amazing, and I really appreciate him. Rivers, thank you again so much for coming. We really do appreciate it. Thank you, dear. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. Please stick around. Thank you so much.